Hey YouTube, this is Kerry scrapping for a dart. I just wanted to show you guys what I've been working on. I haven't done much in the last couple weeks, but just some small stuff. Again, I had another procedure I had to have done, so I haven't been able to do any heavy duty stuff, but starting Monday I'll be back to it. But in prior to this, and I've been doing a few small things the last couple weeks, but I wanted to show you what I've been doing for the last 2-3 months now. I just was getting so tired of trying to get in my garage and get to things. I had stuff stacked on things, computers stacked under tarps, too much shelving. I didn't think I'd ever say too much shelving for organization, but I did. You don't want to overdo it. This is all things that I've come up with myself that makes it easier for me to scrap, and I just thought I'd share them with you. I've done videos in the past on how I like to organize things, but this is by far the most organized I've ever been. And since I'm kind of on a new kick now of trying to reorganize my life, stress is something you don't want, and when you're unorganized it leads to stress, and that leads you to be unmotivated to work on anything. But now I've got this set up, I'm proud of it. It's probably one of the better ones that I've seen on YouTube. You guys got a lot of great ideas out there and a lot of storage tips and stuff, but for me it's very important for me to have access to everything I can, and I'm just fortunate enough to have a garage big enough to where I can still get both cars in here and have some nice shelving in the back. So anyway, everything is labeled, all my bins. When a bin gets full, all I have to do is pull it off the shelf and put it right in the back of my pickup. So we'll go through some of these bins here. We'll start even basically with just aluminum cans. I didn't know they still made those little can crushers, but I found one on eBay for, it was under 10 bucks, so I bought one, and then when I crush my cans they go there. We can start all the way with this bin here. This is my bright wire, this kind. There's also some solids in there. This one's pretty much full. It's probably 30 pounds. I don't get a lot of lead, but I've got some lead. This is where I put all my batteries for my motherboards and stuff like that. When I go to the dump, or even our new recycling in our city, you can just put batteries in a Ziploc bag and set them on top of your garbage, and they'll take them for free. Cell phones, I don't get a lot. I probably got a dozen here or so, some boards and stuff to work on. This is where I put all my hard drive boards. This thing's basically almost full. These drawers came out of like storage things you can buy like at Lowe's or wherever. Those like plastic stands that have like 3 drawers. I just took the drawers out and used them as shelves because they have a handle on them. We'll go down the line here. These are my hard drive magnets. Probably got about 50 of or so in there. Those can be sold. Not at my scrapyard, but you can sell them on eBay. CPUs, I separated one side's fiber, one side ceramic, and inside of each one of these I have a separate little bin. See, fiber and ceramics. Then when those get full, I process and sell them to my buyer. Then we've got my memory, my gold, and my silver. And I sold a big batch of gold, so I don't have that much right now, but I'm working on it again. Silver's almost full. Then we'll move down, cast aluminum. You guys know your casts and sheets and all that. This thing's completely full, so some of these bins I'll be taking in hopefully tomorrow. So I got cast, I got my sheet, I got my dirty aluminum. This is stuff that I will not break down, or I cannot, because there's so many nuts and bolts in it, it's just not worth my time. So this will go in as dirty. These are, I'm calling my process boards. I just boxed up another bunch of boards, so there's hardly any in there. There's a few motherboards. But as I work on them and pull them apart, separate all the components, the finished ones go there. From here they go into a packing box and I ship them. This is my number 2 copper. This is just a mix of number 2 copper. You know, like some of the irrigation stuff that's got the solder on it. Some of the stuff from the TB tubes that are just kind of nasty. They take all this stuff as number 2. So that's about half full. Again, when they get close to full, I take them in. Magnesium, this is from mainly, I don't have any in there right now, I sold a little bit. Mainly you get magnesium in laptops, and they're a pain to strip down because there's zillions of little screws, so if it's worth my time, I will. If not, I'll just take it in as like dirty magnesium, but when I do get some time, I'll probably break a few down and put them there. This one's stainless steel. Some hard drive covers are stainless steel, and you get stainless in some other items like TV tubes, some of the screws and stuff like that. I've got transformers. These are my plastic ones. I get a different rate for these than I do like transformers you'd find on computers. So I I don't break those down. I've done a video on these before. It's not worth the time, in my opinion, to break those down unless you don't have a lot. Then go ahead and go for it. Transformers, or power supplies, I mean, from computers. This one's full. It's probably 50 pounds there or more. Wire to strip. I'm down to 1 bin of wire to strip. I stripped down a bunch of Romex not too long ago. So this one here, you can kind of see is a bunch of TV, you know, the black tape wiring that's wrapped. Sometimes it's copper, sometimes it's aluminum. That's in there. Here's my heat sinks that are copper mixed. I get a lot of these. They do have copper in them. Every one of these do. You know, some will be on the bottom, some will be running through it. Some's kind of like that with the aluminum base. I get a lot more a pound keeping that separated. You can break that down if you want to take the time, but for me, that's just not, it can be worth the time, but I just don't have the time. I'm trying to get organized, and if you sit on stuff too long, it's just going to stress you out. I'm not doing that anymore. And then here's regular heat sinks, about half a bin full again. My insulated wire, this is the stuff I do not strip. It's a fairly good sized tote. It's probably 3/4 full. That'll be going in soon. Dirty brass. This can be a mix of everything from female plug-ins to male plug-ins, to even like these antennas have a little brass. Everything can get mixed together. Anything that's got dirty brass in it, check with your yard, but at my yard they buy all this together, so I don't have to keep it separate anymore. Even like doorknobs that you don't want to pull all apart, all goes in here. Okay, motors and windings. This thing's heavy. It's full of computer motors, you know, fans, little guys, inside hard drives, you name it, in here. Full, again, probably 75, 80 pounds. This one, hard drives that I'll be pulling apart. I had 2.5 bins full. I'm down to about 3/4 of a bin, so I've been working hard trying to get this stuff broke down. Sometimes I come across some hard drives that are just really hard to pull apart. Sometimes the screws strip and stuff, and if they do, I'll just sell those as is to my yard. They pay 25 cents a pound for the scrap hard drives. Otherwise, if I can pull them apart, I will. Always take the boards off as well. Scrap steel, self-explanatory. I just pull this bin out, put it by my truck. When I'm working, I just throw all my screws and nuts in there, and when it's full, I take it in. Okay. These here, I don't get a lot of, so I just put them in buckets. There's some aluminum wire from televisions. This one's got some dirty brass still that I haven't pulled apart, not much left. This one here, Romex I've been working on. It's probably 20 pounds. And then this bin back here, I had this in a large bin, but it's just way too heavy when it gets full. This is full of brass that's already been stripped. That's probably 30, 40 pounds, so I didn't want to put that in one of these because it'd be well over 100 pounds. So anyway, that's kind of what I got going for my organization here. Again, I try to make it easy on myself. So now, like again, some full bins here. All I gotta do, pull them off the shelf, put them right in my truck, and take them in. When I come home, put the empty bins back up, and I'm ready to go again. Top shelf, there's some stuff up in here. There's some Pentium 2 and 3s that need to be pulled apart, and some other windings that I will break down. This here, I sent some of this to Original Feats, but this is full of coaxial wire. It's got the gold pins on it. This one here, I probably will break down. I'm going to see if I can show you what's in there. If I can. Television yokes. And then there's just a few boxes of modems that I need to break down up above. Those boxes are empty, ready to expand if I need to. Okay. Onto my workbench. I took a huge load of scrap in. A lot of it was old tools that were broken, things that I didn't need. Nobody needs 3, 4, 5 hammers, you know. A lot of the tools that are doubles went in this bin, and I'm going to try to sell that bin maybe at a yard sale just to get rid of it. This bin here is just sitting there for now, but when you're processing, you come up with a lot of garbage, and I just throw my plastics in there, and then I'll dump that into my garbage later. Basic shelves for a garage. I thinned out a lot of things there. A few things here to sell. Treadmill motor, I'll be selling that on eBay. There's a Holley carburetor I got one time. Some old, there's some telephone stuff. Even these old jerry can lids. Some of that stuff you've seen in my old videos that I just finally unburied again. Again, tools, nice and tidy. The ones I use all the time, are hung there. This fan, it gets hot here in the summer. Of course, gotta have a nice drill. I like Porter cable, they work great. Gloves. Inside here, stuff I don't use as much, but again, not cluttered. These things were so full I couldn't even find anything. Paper and pencil when I'm writing down dimensions on a shipping box, so I can take it in and do an estimate for shipping and send it to my buyer. This one, you want to have a lot of smalls. This, you know, as you guys know, you need things to pry. I use these punches a lot when you have screws and stuff that you need to just pound out. Different size screwdrivers, some of the ratchet stuff that I use more often. I've had several different types of these are the tamper-proof bit sets. I think I got this because Mike the Scrapper had one and I tried it and it works fair. But with anything with use, the bits strip out, especially the smaller the bit, the more likely it's going to strip out. So I always have on hand extras. I've got like these and these. This is probably one of the best ones I've ever had. It's got every single kind, even the small star style with a little hole in the center. I mean, you can find it all right in this little kit. And of course, you can put all these bits in this driver here, which makes it a lot easier. Other than that, I think that's about everything I needed to show you. The patio is got a few things left. I'm down to 5 towers, and these are all empty bins. 2 bins of laptops, and there's some components in there still to finish. But other than that, this is it. This is all I have left out of this entire thing. Remember the wall of towers? It's gone. So again, it's very important to separate your scrap. You don't want to have, like when I first started almost a year ago, I had these bins with lids on them stacked against this back wall. I had stuff laying all over the place. When I needed to get to, let's say, my sheet aluminum, if it was on the bottom, I'd have to move like 4 or 5 bins to get to that, and it just got to a point where it was pissing me off, so I just wouldn't do it anymore. So I got organized. So basically that's about it. I guess I didn't show you. These are all there's drill bits and this things I use this as a regular garage would have. You know, Allen wrenches, every size you can think of, tons of bits, stuff like that. So anyway, this is a little bit more of how I get organized, and I hope you guys like this video, and I hope you guys have room, and if you don't, it's okay, just do what you can do. But if you do have room, make some of the money and turn it over that you get from your scrap, turn it over and buy some good shelving. This is all industrial shelving. It can hold, you know, thousands of pounds. That's what you want. Of course, put your heaviest stuff on the bottom. You don't want the heavy stuff on the top where it's gonna cause your shelves to collapse. But anyway, this is it. I hope you guys like this video. Please like and subscribe. Take care.